Hi. Well,
on this episode.
Yes, this episode because...
You're in for a treat.
What number are we at? Like 25, I think?
Something like that.
That's cool. We're a quarter of a century in terms of episodes old, but not years, not by any means. Tonight we have John Wells.
John Wells, super talented screenwriter, musician, theater guy, playwright.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
And he's such a delight to talk to. So fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different, because I think we're closer in age. You know, I don't know. Didn't actually ask him. He didn't know who Oingo Boingo was. But that doesn't have to be an age thing, necessarily. But
yeah, he really has his life kind of put together, figured out.
Yeah, which is an inspiration.
He's adulting.
Yes,
for sure.
very well.
Yeah. Sure, we talked about Isle. I produced Isle. That's a really funny short. You should check out.
Talk about the Oscars.
Talked about the Oscars. Oscar noms just came out.
Controversy around that. When are the Oscars? March?
First weekend of March.
Okay, yeah. Cool. So this may be out by then.
Yeah.
Maybe the same weekend.
Maybe. Ooh. Yeah. We could be predicting.
Yes. Yeah, and the missile alert.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah,
Not fun to talk about, but yeah.
His feature project revolves around that.
That's right. Yeah. So yeah.
John Wells, all around great guy. Can't find him on social media.
Nope.
But you can contact us if you wanted to get in touch with him.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's worthy of getting in touch with and collaborating with.
Real great guy, real
being
dear
a part
friend.
of it. What else should we talk about?
Keep it crispy.
Sonoma wool?
yes.
I don't know. Yeah.
We're looking into future partners. We'll figure it out one of these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want to help support a local podcast talking about film and stuff, your ad here. Here. There we go. Something open up. There. Yeah. So, episode 25-ish. And here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4!
Game. Kelsie and I spent all of Sunday watching football, and those were some amazing games. But we're like watching it, and at the end, I'm like, oh wow, like my elbows feel sore from this. I get home and look at these. Oh my God, I know.
So bad.
So people are asking me, geez, what happened to your elbows? I was like, football, man.
It's a really intense couple games.
Yeah. Really and then I don't go any further. I don't allow them to ask any follow-ups. That's it. Bye.
Yeah, football.
Crazy. Okay, I'm just gonna wait till we make sure we got everything. Say something?
Testing.
Oh, just sit where you're gonna sit.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
Should be good. Yeah.
Just have John move this around a couple more times.
Yeah. Oh, that sounds great. Yeah. That sounds amazing.
Just constantly being. Yeah.
Okay.
How does that happen though?
I don't know.
He was up and down, jumping all over the place. They were getting so nervous. It was a really intense 2 games. They both went into overtime. There were some bad calls made on the field, which is what all the memes I'm seeing today are about that call.
So epic. It was so epic, and I'm so glad it happened. I'm sorry, Saints fans, but y'all deserve it.
Y'all deserve it, damn.
Is
cursing allowed? I'm just...
Fuck no.
Okay.
No.
Oh my God. Whatever
Jesus,
you guys...
dude, no.
By any rules, whatever.
We're not going to have that shitty language in here.
You're too sweet. You set him up. Hits him out of the park.
This is great.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Super
You
lucky.
came in at a good time. I mean, we got golden hour going on out there. That's my favorite time of day.
Same here.
Yeah.
Filmmakers.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, how do you two know each other? Cliff, how do you know John? ACM?
Silverman.
We first met on Silverman.
Yeah.
Wait, that day on set?
Yeah. That was the first time we met in person. Yeah, and I was like, wait, I know you from somewhere in your name because you donated to my first film.
You donated to Isle.
So I was like, your first impression.
You were our biggest funder. Thank you so much.
You're like, we're already like up here.
Yeah.
And it's all downhill since I met you.
Well, that's fine. That's fine.
No,
I'm kidding.
not at all.
So how long have you been in filmmaking, actually?
Not that long. I moved to LA after undergrad, and I did a couple short films in undergrad, just as an actor.
Okay.
I was in the English department. I was studying film, but it was like, critical studies, and it was just analytical stuff. Mm-hmm. And so then I found an in with a couple buddies that were just actually doing the thing and making it. Mm-hmm. And I starred in a couple, just wacky shorts, and but it was so fun. Mm-hmm. And then I was in the theater mostly during undergrad, and so after that I put up a play. Actually, I wrote a play, and it got put up in my senior year. And it was awesome. It was like so awesome to hear the actors.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Your
words.
Yeah. And it was really an awesome experience, and that inspired me enough to move to LA, because it was either New York or LA, and I felt myself drifting more towards film. Mm-hmm. And then there, I was a teacher. I kind of got a job as a teacher. Mm-hmm. Was doing that, but on the side, I'd always done music and film. I hadn't. Ironically, though, weirdly enough, it didn't take until moving out of LA and moving here that I was like, wait, I actually do want to just write and direct film, and that was just what I wanted to do all along. But it kind of took a weird, winding, twisted journey to get there, which is fine.
Well, luckily Honolulu has the industry. It's here, man.
Things happen here. Exactly. Things happen here that never would happen in LA. I started off going to HFC.
That's your guys' common ground too.
And that's just a great little, great growing group of filmmakers and people who are interested in making it. And I would never find that in LA, where people are just helping each other out, make as many movies as possible. Yeah. And then, from there, just meeting more and more people here and making it happen.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that you studied critical studies for film, and that makes sense to me, because you're such a screenwriter, really, at heart. The way you write is very,
Yeah, I love talking film. Like, I don't mind just sitting and chatting about it, which is why I'm here. But it's like English classes takes up a notch. Like, people are analyzing every damn word, and we had watched a couple really obscure, weird ones that our professors put us in front of, but it's fine. It's all fun.
Yeah.
And the papers, having to write all the papers.
I'll never forget having to watch In the Realm of the Senses. No, not trying to bash that film, but have anyone ever seen that?
No.
Well, it's wild.
Yeah.
It's a true story about a geisha who has this kind of masochistic love affair with this guy, and they get really, you think 50 Shades is dirty, this stuff, they get really bad, and at the end of it, she straight up kills him in the middle of sex, and she cuts, I don't mean to get all graphic right off the bat, but she cuts
off his wiener.
And then walks around with it in her pocket for 2 weeks in Tokyo. Yeah, it's a real true story.
Wow.
But yeah, I was like, when I was getting into film, I didn't know I was going to be, writing 12-page papers on the ending of In the Realm of the Senses. But so I wanted to just kind of go into the production side, which is a lot more fun, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What did you teach in LA?
So it was a high school, a charter high school, and it was really innovative, amazing school called New Village Girls Academy, and all-girls school, inner city LA, only 200 girls enrolled. It was like a community, and I started off as a math tutor there, and just trying to get a job. I was like desperate in LA for the first 4 months. I was just trying to get a job no matter what it was.
Yeah.
And I know math, like. And I went in there, and I'm like learning as I'm teaching, like trigonometry. I haven't seen this shit in years, but I picked it up and I was teaching them, and I got along with all the students. And then the principals like found out that I did a lot of art stuff, like I did film and music. And he hired me on. This guy was so amazing. His name's Javier Guzman, and he had me come in and just kind of, because the budget allowed it and it was such an innovative school. I was kind of like a glorified substitute. The way that the school was structured, where I just go around and I was individual based learning with the students.
Nice.
And I was kind of the go-to for creative projects.
Wow, that's really cool.
And that just allowed me to like develop awesome mentorships with students who are interested in the arts. And so there's definitely that part of me that is totally like education based. I love the community aspect of that stuff. Like I just volunteered with HIF this past year, their education department, just organizing school screenings, because I just love it. I love helping young people,
Man, that's so great.
pursue their voices and all that. It's great.
HFC has a lot of avenues for that, don't they?
Yeah.
I've seen like for young girls in particular.
I know that they have a relationship with Hawaii women filmmakers in Hawaii. I forget the actual, but I'm always seeing stuff there. And Jana Parkmore, I believe her name is. She does a lot of work with them, and she's like kind of integral part of HFC.
Yeah,
too, so.
yeah. Really, really cool.
Thinking of stuff I forgot earlier. Actually, can I borrow your notepad and pen?
You may, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I forgot to put a Post-it on the door
Oh.
for the lady to. We had one of the janitors came in during one of the shots and changed the trash while we were recording. It was great. It was great. We'll just walk over next time.
How do you not? I don't even know. Just keep going. You're doing great.
Thanks, man. So you talk about music. This is something you composed the score for Isle. So how me and John know each other, I produced his.
Okay.
He wrote and directed Isle, which thank you so much. You contributed to. John also composed the score for it, which was so awesome. So can you talk a little bit about your love for music?
Yes, absolutely. I ever since high school, I've been playing in bands. Yeah, actually, the summer before high school, I just bought a guitar on a whim. My best friend got a drum set, and we were just like, how else are we going to meet girls? Or, like, it's the classic tale. Like,
It's so classic. Oh, my God.
We got to pick up the sport or pick up the music. So we did that, but then it just became, like, obviously, just, like, a love affair, a lifelong love affair, I guess there's a quote out there, or something like, with a romance with music. And so that just evolved over the years, and in LA was actually a big time for me to like grow music wise. My couple friends were producers over there, and they helped me record these songs that I had written for a while that I just wanted to record. And I remember them always mentioning like, wow, I feel like you write choral music, or you write stuff that you hear in movies. Yeah. And I was like, you're right. You're right, because I've secretly always wanted to do music for movies. I just love it. And so then I'm fast forward to being here and writing the script, and I feel like it was a part of the process as I was writing the script, like even before maybe I was like, I can't wait to do the music for this. Wow. And so yeah, for that one I kind of drew on Punch Drunk Love soundtrack. I always loved that, with the weird percussive instruments that they had in that, and I just laid some string tracks, but then like Isle had this quirkiness to it. Yeah. It had serious parts too, but it was also kind of quirky, and I wanted to keep that absurd, silly vibe from the very beginning, so just added those in there, and that was really fun.
I was gonna say, Danny Elfman got his start in Oingo Boingo.
Oh, really? What's Oingo Boingo? Am I a noob for not know? What's that?
Not really, but you might have just revealed your age, because it was an old band, like kind of funk band or something. Okay. Yeah, and he was the percussionist or the drummer.
Oh, awesome! Yeah, I know Clint Mansell. He's a big influence on me. I love his stuff. He started off in a band as well.
And Mark Mothersbaugh from Devo, doing all sorts of movie scores.
Right. I'm sorry, I'm gonna act like I know what you're saying. I don't know the reference. So I'm so
cool.
sorry.
That's
I don't either.
I'm trying to impress you, but
no. Complete opposite. I'm completely intimidated by your references. I don't know.
Oh, jeez. Sorry.
Well, so that's something that you would do again then? Would you score your next film, or would you score friends' films?
Totally. Well, it'd just be I would totally do. I did Jay's film, A
Mr.
Silverman, on a really tight time crunch, but I wanted to help him out with that. Oh yeah, I'd love to do music, no matter whose film it is or whatever. If it's a story that sounds interesting, or if it's a friend that I owe a favor for, that I really want to collaborate with, I would love to. And so that's definitely in the game plan. Of whatever I do next, I'd like to do the music for it.
Cool. Good to
Why
know.
not? Yeah.
Yeah, that's so great.
How do you go about composing? What's your process?
Yeah.
I sit in a dark room.
Yeah.
I lock myself in. No, I'm not even gonna go there. I open up Logic. I work in Logic, and there are so many. Actually, I'll say probably first is like the melody. I'll think of like an atmosphere. I think that's not to sound too pretentious, but it is kind of about atmosphere with music for movies. And so that's when other films and other sounds, if a certain score has caught my ear or any of that, I'll kind of draw on that, as was the case with Punch Drunk Love. But it sometimes just starts with that. I have a guitar or ukulele in my living room, and I just will do a few diddlies or something. And I like to. The key, though, is probably keeping it simple, which is not an easy thing for me. In writing the script and with music, it's like, what is it? It's have you guys seen the trailer for If Beale Street Could Talk?
I didn't see
So that's a movie I have to see because it's Barry Jenkins and he's great. But there's just this diddly that in this trailer, like a couple flutes. I have no idea even what the instrument is, but I'm just like, oh yeah, yeah, you've already got me. I haven't even seen the damn thing. It's like, but just little textures, and it like adds so much to the image. And so I'll start with that too. Sometimes I'll just go into the software and try to find a software instrument that closely resembles it. For now, I'd love to evolve into like real instruments. Oh yeah, like be a real composer then. Hire them in and actually do that. But for now, it's
so much
just
more expensive. Oh my gosh.
So for now, it's just me and my computer.
You might have the connections with that though through the school. If you work at UH, you could get the music students maybe. Yeah,
there's a couple. That is definitely an advantage, I'd say, is being on campus at UH Manoa. I mean, that's kind of what got Isle going, because I knew Jay from the film department there. He had a very similar job to mine, but I work in the theater and he worked at ACM, so having that connection, for sure. There's always these people that are just hungry to grow and learn on a college
Isle was so
campus,
special because it was half theater and half ACMers coming together to create this thing.
Yeah.
Next project, we'll have to bring in the music students too.
It'll have to be,
But so you'll be director and conductor.
That was a unique collaboration though, for sure. I was proud. I was definitely proud of that, building that bridge, because the departments we're already kind of trying to make stuff happen collaborative wise. I was trying to make stuff happen just at the academic level. Like, can we have classes come together? Can we have shared credits? Nice. But it was way over my head. Like, higher ed administration, I'm sorry, but that ain't a battle I'm trying to fight for a really long time. But it was like one meeting, I was like, this is too hard, too difficult. So then I was just like, I'll just make my own thing and like, let's try to make something happen. And luckily enough, it did.
Hopefully with Marcus's involvement now, who's half theater and he's half film, hopefully he can get more theater students involved in our projects.
Yeah, it is happening. We have a GA that's in the theater is working at ACM. So there are these building blocks there, and because ACM they still have to staff the rest of the department. It's been a little slow, but once that gets steady again, I think there will be a lot of room for collaboration.
It'd be so great, really, really great for like workshops and classes and stuff.
It's a perfect mix. Like the crew, the film students need.
We need talent.
The talent to be to the actors, and the actors want work.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's pretty simple, you know. It's like
so simple.
And you'd be surprised at the obstacles, but I'm optimistic about that for sure.
That's nice. That's very good.
Do you know Ron Heller?
Yeah. I just kind of met Ron. He's awesome. He's actually, just from what I know, that he's a tax attorney, I think. He's a full-time, straight-up attorney, and he's going back to school and doing an MFA or a PhD in theater, and he's just was throwing himself out there and doing work, and seems like a really nice guy too. I haven't got to meet him or get to know him that well, but yeah, I just saw a piece that he did with a couple friends of mine, and it was really cool. It was in Marcus's class actually, but
cool. Wow. Yeah, he was in my 310 project.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, who was he?
Crossroads Station.
Yeah. Who
he was
did he
Torn.
play? Oh,
Before
okay.
Torn got turned into a female.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, he's very cool.
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Awesome. Like, when did you know movies was what you wanted to do? What did you say? Or was there a moment, or was it just always kind of there?
It was kind of always just there, but it was never just kind of like fermented over the course of like 15 years. Like, I always loved watching movies growing up, and like every weekend I'd go with my dad, and he was so embarrassing. He'd bring like this blanket, because he used to hate the chairs. The chairs were so uncomfortable. He'd bring a freaking blanket everywhere he went. It was this dumb dinosaur blanket. I'd always wait like 20 feet behind, just act like I'm tying my shoe like 3 different times. Like, all right, just get 3 tickets to whatever. Anyways, and then it's a weird. I haven't even really thought of how it's all progressed to this moment, but it was definitely over the past 2 years where it was like, this is like definitely what I want to do, because in the deciding factor, I think it was like one day I realized, whoa, I've been like kind of dabbling in all these different art forms just because like music, theater, film on occasion here, and I just thought film kind of combines all those things,
right?
And you would be able to do all of them and just focus on that, and then just going full on, and when I decided that, it was kind of nice because I got to say no more to like projects that would, because they just people started asking me, will you do this, and I had to say no, obviously politely and respectfully, but it's like nice to narrow your focus. Sometimes, at least for me, it was real struggle for a very long time to like, because I just didn't know, just wandering through like, I'll do anything creatively, that sounds fun. And
there is a quote, something to the tune of a vision isn't realized, or a vision is only realized with 1,000 no's.
Oh, okay. Yeah, very much to that, on that note, for sure.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of like in this stage, this phase, it's, everyone is kind of helping each other out, so it's kind of like, picking and choosing, and like, how do you balance that? But yeah, if you have that clearly defined vision.
Yeah, and the right people just like naturally will gravitate towards it if it's going to help them grow.
Absolutely.
I'm not interested in doing something and having somebody come on that's just doing it, working through just going through the motions.
Right.
Obviously, ideally, and it's not always going to be that, but ideally it's going to help everyone a part of it. Yeah.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from Clearwater, Florida.
Oh, nice.
Tampa area, home of Scientology, and and then I went to undergrad in Gainesville, Florida, at UF, and then LA.
Okay.
From there.
Right on. I'm from North Carolina, so Bible Belt, similar Scientology.
What part of?
Raleigh-Durham area.
Okay.
You're familiar with
like
that?
the triangle.
Yeah.
The triangle
Specifically Cary.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I love the area. When I was growing up, we used to take road trips up to Asheville, and
that's beautiful.
Yeah, and we used to go like Whitewater Rapid.
I haven't done that. The Eno?
No, what is it called? Rainbow River? No, not Rainbow River. Oh, so long ago. I'm forgetting the name of the river. But we used to just go there.
Nantahala?
I'm not going to remember the name.
Okay. Yeah, I have yet to do that. Actually, I never really went to Asheville until a couple years ago.
Oh,
I grew up in the Triangle area, but when 2016 Christmas.
Yeah.
Went back with my wife and our then 6-month-old son, and we took a day trip out to Asheville, and we stayed at one of, not the Biltmore, but another manor estate hotel thing, and it was amazing.
It's a great city.
Yeah,
it's
so
really
cool.
hip. It's up and coming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're trying to find. I'm trying to find what's going to be the next Portland that's going to boom.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because. By the time you go to Portland, it's too late. Everything's cost so much money and stuff. Got to try to find these cities that are just bound to just blossom into the next great city. But I see Asheville potentially being one of those.
Oh, good to know.
Maybe. I don't know.
What do you think of Austin?
Austin's great.
Yeah.
Our good friend Jay, all of our good friends, Jay lives there now. Just visited there about 8 months ago. Wonderful city. Got some outdoor activities. Got the big university in the middle of it. When we went, it was kind of hot, really hot. It was it was that heat wave. It was hot everywhere, but especially Austin. So it was really bad time to go, but good barbecue, and I'm a big fan. I'm a Florida kid, so we still have barbecue there. And sure.
South by Southwest is there.
Exactly.
It's a real big art city.
Yeah, the filmmaking scene is definitely a plus for sure.
Guys, the Oscar noms came out today.
Yes.
Have you guys been all up on it too? I have?
Yeah, kinda.
I was surprised that Suspiria didn't get nominated for Best Score.
I haven't seen it.
Tom York did the score for it. The guy from Radiohead. Yeah,
nice.
But didn't get a nom.
Huh.
That was interesting. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I'm only really truly bummed about Sorry to Bother You not getting original screenplay, because that was you guys got to see it if you haven't. It's just I thought that was at least top 3.
I remember you telling me about it, and I saw the poster.
Yeah,
Didn't see the trailer.
It's great. Such a surreal and really meaningful message that I think a lot of people should watch, and great story.
Wow, not even a nom. Huh.
Yeah. It's usually when the Oscar nominations come out, it's it's so exciting, yeah. I have to see all of these. You just
I haven't seen this one, this one, this one, this one.
The next month,
I have one month.
Hopefully they have a special at Regal Dole. I think one of them was just giving out a pass.
They did that last year, didn't they?
Oh, do they do that?
Oh,
okay.
For $50 or something. I forget the deal, but you're spending $50. You get to see all of them.
Yeah, only one I'm really kind of pulling for is Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah.
Which one is that? Did that win? Is that nominated for Best Picture?
No, for animated.
Best animated.
Yeah.
But I've heard from everyone who's seen that movie that it's their favorite movie of all time.
So good.
Basically,
I know, I've
so
got to
good.
see it. I heard
totally good things. But it's kind of crazy because Wreck-It Ralph was really good, or Ralph Breaks the Internet was good, and Incredibles 2 was really good. So it's up against some really good animated features.
Yeah, I've heard Incredibles 2 is amazing too.
Nah, Spider-Man's gonna take it.
I hope so.
I think so. I really think so.
Yeah.
You guys seen Roma?
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw that at HIF. That's.
Oh, were you there? No, I went to that one.
It is a spectacular film. Just pure cinema, the cinematography in that. And have you seen it? Did you see it?
Not yet.
There's a particular shot. Because I think it's on Netflix.
It is, yeah.
And that was an odd experience, just watching it in a big theater and seeing this artsy gray Netflix emblem come up on the beginning. I was like, oh, Netflix, going the serious indie film route. Okay,
So weird.
They're just gonna eat everything, aren't they? But but there's a particular shot in that film that is just mesmerizing. And a week or so ago, I was watching an interview with all the different directors this year, and Spike Lee was there with Alfonso Cuarón, and he was bro, how'd you get that shot? And I was so glad that he I was like, yes, thank you, Spike. And then Ricky was talking about he got this pier onto the water, and that was neat to hear that.
That is really cool. Yeah.
Okay, check that out. What do you think about like the streaming platforms putting stuff into theaters, and on top of that, like I remember a few months ago or something, Spielberg was saying a movie's not a movie, or it shouldn't be considered an Oscar contender unless it gets a theatrical release.
Interesting.
I think with Roma they seem to do it all right, where they did have limited release, and they did give it its proper distribution in the theaters, that experience, but then also allowing, I mean, Netflix does own the platform, and they funded the film. This is the thing we have to remember is, like, Netflix is taking risks. I mean, they're putting out real original content. Black Mirror, and there's countless examples, but I just remember the Bandersnatch phenomenon and Bird Box. I haven't seen Bird Box yet, but
people are talking about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And they're
doing
putting
it
the money
right.
there, and they're creating these experiences, and for now I'm okay with that. I will be concerned. I probably maybe in the next 5 years if it starts just getting where movie theaters are dying. But I think that movie theaters need to like take a hint from the novelty which led to the failure of MoviePass. Like the MoviePass was this. I mean, it was like they're not sustainable. It's like, yep, they're not. I'm just glad I got my year's worth of watching.
Dude, me too. I milked that so hard.
I did. I was like, this is not
So
going to
many
last,
movies.
Joe. We got to go see some of these movies. And I did it, and now I'm not renewing, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that the last time I checked, I haven't looked into it, but AMC or something is trying to follow that model, like a subscription package. Anything to like kind of make it more reward people who are frequent moviegoers and want to still have that experience. If you change the business model, hopefully you can kind of change how things are going.
Yeah, that's really well said. Yeah.
I don't, people were saying for a while there that, the death of the theater is imminent, but it's continued on, it's made it through, and it feels kind of like it's making a comeback, maybe through the blockbusters and stuff, I don't know. But just, even still, presently going to a movie and having that communal experience with the audience and everyone's just like in it. Oh, especially like the Hana Ho shows at Consolidated at Ward. That's a lot of fun. Of course, that's a well-loved classic any given event, but I don't know. I felt like I just crossed over into rambling.
No, I think that you're on to it. That they need to create experiences at the movie theater. That they need to start thinking outside the box, not just with their business model, but like I'm wondering why they don't have events like the season premiere of Game of Thrones. I don't know if they could do
that'd be so cool.
Who owns the material? Obviously HBO owns it. They're not gonna. They want people to like watch it on HBO. But could they make it? I don't know. Getting people in the seats of movie theaters, you can make it happen if there were just kind of like I don't know different experiences. Because right now they're kind of going 3D the IMAX experience, which for certain films. It is totally, it's awesome that they're doing that and utilizing the technology. But I think
need it though. I don't need it.
I don't need it. No, but I understand that. I don't even enjoy it. But I totally respect if people.
But I would love to see my favorite show on a big screen. So
with
I like
your
what
friends,
you're saying.
Like you would totally make it
in a dark room, not on Cabo Hulu with ambulances going by. No, I want that.
Yeah, and
it's a really good idea.
So. If you're listening,
pitch
HBO. HBO, I know you're listening.
Yeah, totally listening to this.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Done.
But, that could, do the season premiere of a show, and then that would get people to subscribe to their service.
Sure.
To watch
the
following episodes.
Yeah.
I think it is telling, though, that Netflix and Amazon Studios are doing theatrical releases.
Yeah.
What was it? The Kumail Nanjiani and his wife Emily Levy Horton. Their film,
The Big Sick.
The Big Sleep. Yeah.
Sick.
The Big Sick. Yes. That's another movie. The Big Sleep. Yeah. I don't know what it is, but
yeah, that
was that through Amazon?
Yeah, it was Amazon Studios.
I didn't know that. Oh, okay, yeah,
I think
that's
they
major.
Did Manchester by the Sea, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh.
Yeah, they did that one too.
Oscar
or at least
winner.
they funded it or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all for whatever's getting money into the hands of really talented, creative, masterful filmmakers. I'm all for it. Like Coen Brothers just did their last film in Netflix, The Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Yeah,
that's right.
And
that's nominated for best screenplay, isn't it?
Oh, and costume.
And costume.
Cool. I'm all for it. I love. I enjoyed it because I really like anthology films. Just vignettes of shorts that are in the same world, like Paris Je t'aime, or and then like Wild Tales. So I appreciate that Netflix is taking those risks, giving those people the money to make it happen.
Yeah, it seems like they're giving people who are already established the money, though. It'd be nice to see them going for more independent, and maybe they did at first, but now seeing Sandra Bullock and Alfonso Cuarón, the Coen brothers.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's
really a little bit of a sellout in that way. Like they know that it's going to make money. It's Alfonso Cuarón. It's a black and white masterpiece. Like,
right. Yeah. They're taking risk, but it's calculated. Risk, and it is kind of a slam dunk. Like if Alfonso Cuarón came to me and how are you going to say?
How can you? This is
going to be pretty damn good. So.
Cast Sandra Bullock in a thriller, it's going to do well.
Right. But you're right that the pipeline for a young aspiring filmmaker is still daunting, and to think like, how can I get to that?
It would have been nice to be like, oh, maybe we can be on Amazon one day. But now it's like, oh, okay, you still have to be Command on Johnny to get on Amazon.
You still got to do a lot of groundwork and and do the time and
But that's what makes you the master, right? Yeah. We're okay
process,
to do the work.
The process,
we'll do the work. That's fine.
It's love. It's labor of love, for sure.
Speaking of, I was going to segue into future projects.
Okay.
No? Past projects.
I'm curious about Isle. With the Isle? I'm so sorry. I haven't actually seen it.
Oh, jeez.
There was that opportunity.
You spent $100 and
I just
didn't.
Oh, we've got to send you the link. We have
you got money growing on trees over here.
Not exactly.
We'll have to show you.
Hit the donate button right here.
We had a screening at HFC. I guess maybe you weren't able to make it that night.
Yeah. But tell us about it. Well, she knows about it. What's it about?
It's about a day in the life of a props assistant on a reality TV show set in the middle of nowhere, and the director is losing his mind. He's a maniacal director, and it's kind of a day in the life of her having to deal with this monster supervisor, and kind of we have flashbacks into her decision into going into acting and going the film route. And we watch her kind of fall apart in a graceful way. I don't know.
That's really well said. That's great.
Ugly, graceful way.
Okay.
And just makes her exit and all that. And so it was definitely tied in with my experience in LA of kind of being in this. As I mentioned, I was teaching at the school and having this really wonderful communal experience, but then being surrounded by the kind of the stereotypes that you hear about LA and the kind of individualist, opportunistic. I'm not saying that everybody in LA is like that, because there were obviously amazing people everywhere you go, but the cliches are true that it's like me-centered and everything. And so I wanted to kind of juxtapose those two worlds, and so her flashbacks are back at the school that she worked at, and it's her struggle letting go of that. She wants to leave to go pursue what she wants to do in this industry that is infamous, notorious for for certain things. And at one point her principal says, why do you want more? You love your job here, why do you want more? And that was kind of like the question I wanted to present in this film, is, at least with her arc, her dilemma is why do she doesn't know, and that's okay. that she has to sit with that and work through that.
Okay. What came first, the story or the question?
Oh, geez, Cliff.
Well, I'm always curious about that because in my own process, sometimes I just get this like groovy story idea, and then something relevant or profound may or may not come out of it, and then seeing other people's work, and there's like, wow, that was, yeah.
The question, for sure. Okay. Now that I think about it.
Yes.
Yeah, totally. Because I lived it. I lived that question as a film, person going through this, and then, but I didn't realize how, I think, personal it was until I saw it all play out with the script.
No kidding.
Which is, because, like, with the play that I wrote back in college, I remember it was too close to me. Like, it was just way too, like, my relationship was in there, and my dad, and it was just, it was almost, like, cringy for me to watch. And plus, I wasn't that good a writer at the time, so I probably had, like, really bad, like, lines and stuff, and, I was kind of emo. But I still am a little bit.
So much. My first film was like that completely.
You gotta get it out of your system.
Cringy.
Like, it's totally fine. We all do it. And I even look back now and I'm like, I feel like I grew as a writer just watching that, and like that wasn't necessary. That line wasn't, which is what we have to do if we're gonna keep getting better.
Totally.
But then with Isle, I remember wanting to keep it a little separate, and that's why I created the world with the like kind of quirky characters, and the absurdity aspect allowed me to kind of like, okay, let's explore these serious things underneath this
whimsical
all this
world.
whimsical stuff. So,
Yeah.
It's like a Trojan horse, I guess, in a way.
Sure. That's awesome.
It turned out really well. It's really, really funny.
Yeah.
I'll have to watch it. I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
For sure.
Send it over.
Is it on the festival circuit or submitting it?
I was submitting for about I gave it 6 months. I submitted, it got into a couple.
Nice.
It got into a film festival in Wales, which is like where my roots are, which is pretty cool.
So great.
And then my other roots in Tampa, Florida, it picked up a festival there, and a couple friends being out to that screen. I was excited about that.
So
and
great.
Yeah, it was just enough to be like, okay, like a couple of people like this, I'm gonna keep doing this.
Cool.
Which is all you could ask for, really,
Absolutely.
from your first short. So.
Sure.
Hell yeah.
Sure.
So then you applied to the Ohina Labs.
I did, and they accepted a script of mine, and that was awesome and heartbreaking because I couldn't make it to the lab. I had to. It was like, it was pretty heartbreaking, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
But they're awesome guys. Like they met with me after and like heard me out on the script I want to make and stuff. But yeah, I had told a couple old friends that I lived with in LA actually, who were just getting married. They asked me to officiate their wedding, and it was literally the day of September 8th of the lab. So bummer, but hey,
that's validating. You got the job.
It is nice, and I'm glad that the people that got selected, like Anella, like she's gonna be able to make her film, and that's pretty awesome. So the right people.
Yeah,
right
and you
people
can apply next year.
Absolutely,
too,
absolutely.
Yeah, and they gave you some good feedback.
They did
to toss around.
And they're willing to support, in a limited capacity because I wasn't there, but they're just like genuine nice guys, and I'm all for the Ohina Fellowship. I encourage everyone to
it's pretty cool.
Get involved with that one.
Really, really cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You were going to ask about future projects.
Well, yeah, just because I know that you're a very talented screenwriter and applying to Ohina Fellowship.
Yeah.
Are you looking to produce anything at the moment, or are you just kind of toying around with your scripts, going back and forth?
I've got a script going right now that I'm pretty excited about. Well, excited. I'm like trying to still work out some things with it, but it is. I feel like it's kind of got me right there. Like it's kind of got my heart a little bit. Like, okay, I think this might be it might be worth pursuing for because it's not an easy commitment. To like pursue a script, it's like a year or more.
You gotta wait for the timing to be right, because then you have to fundraise. There's a whole thing in pre-production.
It's all so right now it's kind of like at like the fermentation phase where it's like, okay, where are we going with this thing?
Yeah.
I'm looking for producers and it's like that core team to like I'm kind of like, what is it? Fishing with a not a wide net, but just like here, talking to people here and there, having conversations. Like, what do you think of this? How the story revolves around the false missile alert, and it's from the perspective of it's from 3 different perspectives on the day of, and one of them being the man who pushed the wrong button, because I was very interested in this guy for a while since it happened, and it's a very serious. I mean, it's a very serious event, but I'm really interested in what that guy went through, and everyone kind of hates him a bit, and I like, and
but he's just a real guy.
He is a good real guy, and I'm just intrigued by him. So I started writing this script, and right now it's kind of like I think it has potential, and I think a lot of it at this point depends on the actors that I can work with that are interested in it, because this is not something that you like. I think I was speaking with someone about this, like kind of one of those things you don't want to swing. If you're gonna go after this, you don't want to like swing and miss. You want to like do it intentionally, and you want to know that your intentions are right, and that you're gonna do something that's gonna offer some like meaning, I guess.
Sure.
As you can tell, I'm still like working through this. What is worth pursuing about it? What do I have to say about it? Because I don't know, we all experienced it, and I don't have much closure over. I'm not like, it was fake. Like, a lot of people just shrugged and moved on, went back to sleep, and that's great. If you had that experience, that is quite lovely. Wonderful. Spectacular. But yeah, I did the whole thing. I called my mom and all the whole deal.
The whole wave of emotions. I was contemplating jumping in the bathtub and like sitting in the...
say jumping. That would be terrible. That would have been the worst. Forget it. I want to do it on my terms.
I'm gonna let China decide. No.
I'm gonna get vaporized. I'm gonna splatter on the set.
I'm gonna time it perfectly. I'm gonna see it coming. No, but we were all talking about like sitting in the bathtub in the fetal position to try to, like, that's the safest spot, covered in tile. I don't know where I heard that from, but this is after I had filled every vessel in our house with water from the tap, just in case the pipes had gone.
Yeah, my fiance makes fun of me because I grabbed a towel, or she grabbed the towel, and I grabbed a big bucket of cashews, and we were in the bathroom, and she put the towel underneath. I know she read it somewhere that you're supposed to do that, but it's like, come on, what is it gonna do? And we're just there with our cashews, and we're just like, just hugging. It was a really, you have to, We experienced what dying would be like, except minus the death and all that. It's pretty much. I remember the sinking feeling of, like, it was a sinking feeling, and then afterwards, I remember thinking like, I felt like my body was preparing to like go into the ground. I know that's dark, but that's the sensation that I experienced.
It's very dark.
Yeah.
Me and my son were watching cartoons. Was it a Saturday? It had to have been a Saturday.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
And then just randomly, all of a sudden, got the alert on my phone. It's like, what the fuck? And Jenny was still asleep, so I went and was like, hey, are you getting this on your phone? She's like, no. I was like, huh. Turns out she had alerts turned off. And, started scanning through the TV stations, didn't see anything. And then she's like, yeah, I think we'd have heard the alarm by now. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point. And then right on cue, the alarm went off. And we're like, oh my God, we're on AI. And so we got the alarm, and then I heard the Pearl Harbor alarm starting to go off. This family, we could hear families like, get down, go in the basement, get in the basement. And and we had a beautiful view of Pearl Harbor also. And so we're like, what is about to happen? And then finally, Twitter started popping with it's fake, all that, but it just ruined the day.
Yeah.
People forget that this wasn't like a thing that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It was a month of the retentions. They were testing. They were testing those alarms because we were uniquely situated.
Yep.
And so they were testing that, and you're hearing about how ill-equipped we are, or how non-prepared we were to do it, and how it's like stuff from the Cold War in the 50s that were like no shelters and everything. And here's something I have never shared with anyone. The day before it happened, don't ask me why, but I looked up Hiroshima. Oh. I looked it up and I was looking at pictures, those black and white pictures, for whatever reason. Yeah. I don't know, I was like bored at work and I was like going through them. And so then I kid you, like when it happened, I was like convinced. Mm-hmm. Like you could not have convinced me, like why did I, of course, the universe was I don't know what was going on in my head, anything, but like I'm about to die.
You knew, you predicted it, yeah.
Yeah. So
sitting with Stephanie in your bathroom, that's what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
So
one thing that did help me deal with it, do you ever go on Reddit?
Sometimes, yeah.
Someone posted these stickers.
I'll never forget.
Yeah.
It's got the date.
The time. I didn't see that before.
Yeah.
808. That's funny.
It just,
Perfect.
kind of takes
the
power away from it,
Yeah.
Because there was a bakery down in what is it? Oh, Wailea? No.
Wahiwa?
It's in the HFC area. What is that strip called?
Wailea.
It is Wailea.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. A bakery down there, across the street from Coffee Talk, had a little missile sale of baked goods. So we went down there, got some sweets.
Silver lining and all. Yeah. A year later, you got some discount on stuff.
Oh no, that was the day up.
Oh, the day up.
Wow.
Yeah, because we just needed to get out of the house.
Yeah.
Whew.
Let off some steam.
Yeah.
So you proposed the next day, then?
I
John's recently engaged, so yeah.
I proposed during.
Quick, we're gonna die.
Yes.
Wild times.
Yeah.
Switching subjects. How'd you end up in Hawaii?
I got a job at the university, and I had just finished a master's program in arts management. And I was basically, and the goal for that was kind of, I had done arts. I had taught arts at the high school, but I also organized community art shows, talent shows, and I kind of and then I was also volunteering, or I was working at a theater, the Colony Theater in LA, and I really loved the arts atmosphere. I figured, let's be in a creative environment where I'm getting, a salary position in the arts would be great. And I just figured that was kind of all my brain was doing. And so then I got done with the program and I was applying everywhere. I was having really bad luck. It was really bad unemployment time for me. It's not fun.
Wow.
And I remember about to give up. Well, not give up, but I was in Portland staying temporarily with my brother, and I was trying to find a job in Portland. And then, but I was long distance with my current fiance, girlfriend at the time, and I just decided this is not working out here. I'm not finding a job, so I was I'll just go back to Florida. I'd like to pay more attention to the relationship, be with you, and the last week I was in Portland, I applied for this job in Hawaii that just got posted. It was more of a bitter whatever.
Yeah, right.
Just my luck, I got this thing. And then what do you know? 2 weeks after I got back in Florida, I get the call and they Skype me in, and then here I am. And here I am.
Wow. I always thought that Stephanie got the job first, and then you moved over. Wow, you
I dragged her here.
You uprooted your lives. Now you're here in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So crazy. Wow.
She was already trying to get out. She actually, I think, was trying to do a travel nursing gig. We were just both trying to get out.
Yeah.
And then this thing hey, I've got a job in Hawaii. You wanna?
That's amazing.
You want to? Oh, okay. And so that happened. Yeah.
Oh, that's really cute.
That's
That's
awesome.
great. That's really great. Cool. And you're enjoying life in Hawaii?
I am. It's gotten better and better as it's gone on. When you first move here, it's going to take some time. At least for me too. I'm not. I might be outgoing with you guys because I know you, but I'm actually really shy and introverted. When I first go into a group, and it's
hard. Yeah.
It is so hard,
yeah.
and my job is like I have my own desk or office in the corner, not a lot of interaction, so it's like really hard to like just feeling of alienation anywhere when you go someplace new for the first time.
Yeah.
But as it's gone on and getting involved with the film community and then just getting new friends as time goes on, it's gotten better and better.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's great, dude. Yeah.
See yourself staying for the long haul here, or heading back to the mainland?
I don't know. I mean, we are trying to start a family soon, so that's a question that I'm getting married in April. Yeah. That's totally a question you have to ask yourself, because the cost of living and being away from family is a thing. Those are factors. But as of right now, like I'm not. Yeah.
Can you see yourself having kids in Florida, though? Is that kind of where you're going with it? Hawaii's a great place to raise children. So, yeah.
This is true. I keep hearing it. I hear that too. I hear that too. And yeah, it's like an ongoing conversation.
For sure.
So,
yeah.
Well, the reason I asked that is I'm looking for any feedback or from anyone. And that's why I asked about Austin. Is like Jenny and I are contemplating that.
Okay.
Austin in particular?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Austin or Colorado or Washington or something.
Yeah.
Because we love it here. She grew up here. But cost of living is killer. Just preschool alone is bonkers. So trying to make the best of it, trying to figure out what's best. I feel like I'm just now starting to get solidified in a friend base, but at the same time, we're just trying to find a place to live right now too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And you said you had family in North Carolina, like
North Carolina.
And do you still and her family's here though?
Yeah.
So that can be tricky.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking. I mean, Austin is a little bit closer there. It'd be like an hour plane ride.
Yeah.
Cheaper flights home.
Yeah.
Definitely cost of living. You have a film community there.
Yeah.
Weather isn't terrible. So I mean, yeah,
You're
that's
selling Austin pretty well.
I mean, yeah.
Good barbecue.
Yeah.
Jay's there.
Yeah.
He'll let you live with him for like 6 months. I hope you're listening, Jay. I hope you don't mind. I'm soliciting here.
Yeah. But yeah, just stuff we're thinking about.
Yeah.
Considering. So,
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll see. But just got a job.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I finished UH, doing social media for a local company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
He's
like the whole marketing. Like, are you within? What is the company?
Pacific Command.
Okay.
Smith. Yeah.
Awesome. And you enjoy it?
Yeah, so far.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I was going to say he has another baby on the way.
Yeah, that too. In June.
Which is
Cool.
very exciting.
How many? Is it your second?
Second, yeah.
Wow.
Another boy. So.
But to move so close to a birth.
Well, yeah.
Be a year after.
Yeah, we're just thinking it out, feeling it out, and maybe now might be like a year or so from now.
Yeah. Wow.
How do you wrestle with like having a family and also pursuing your stuff on the side, like your creative endeavors? You got a podcast, you're a filmmaker yourself. Like, is it ever like an obstacle, or you just find the time?
Finding the time. Jenny's been very supportive. We met when I was still active duty in the Navy, and I had like a year or two left. We got married. Baby Stormy came like a year or so later. By that time I was out and I was enrolled at UH. And since I had the VA benefit of getting a monthly housing stipend, that was able to supplement her income and still be able to go to school. And then once stuff started happening with my last project, then she started to see the fruits of the labor and whatnot. But now, like, I'm still trying to figure out what my next project is going to be. And how to continue on my last one, because I want that to be a lifelong endeavor as well, and support the family. So thankfully I just got this job, which seems to be pretty, being able to lead work at work, that kind of thing. Yeah. And then, making the time, finding the time.
You get up at 4:30 in the morning every morning, right?
3:55.
3:55. And he writes. And you just have to do it,
got
man.
the routine going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're such a go-getter.
Trying
Seriously.
to.
Yeah. Got the daily vlogs going on.
Yeah, do like a little minute motivation thing every morning.
I caught one of them. I think I saw a minute. It was like a shame and guilt. You were talking.
Oh, that's a different one. Yeah.
Okay, that's not the vlog. It's a different. You have a different thing going?
I've kind of moved over to Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Actually, and it's kind of like for myself also.
Oh,
yeah.
Because in as much as I like to. I'm kind of a introvert but performer at heart. Like I dig being the center of attention on my own terms.
True diva.
And then then I let me go into my closet and play Nintendo and like not talk to anyone.
Yeah.
Gotta recharge. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So, as much as I like to do that, for other people, I like to entertain. Also, speaking motivational words helps motivate me.
That's right. You got to remind yourself.
As much feeding people as feeding myself.
Yeah.
And making something. That's the whole reason I even started the freaking podcast. It's easy to do. You don't have to go months of pre-production and then production and then editing. It's like, hey, set it up. Let's talk. All right. Edit, make it sound good, and throw it up on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, there was a phase during my master's program, ironically, that I was trying to, thinking about doing a podcast, and it was going to be a way for me to stay connected with old friends, where I was just like, all right, we're going to talk about this movie, and I would just have them call in and we would just talk. And I remember preparing to do those interviews. I did a handful of them, and then nothing came of it, but I was practicing so I journal a lot just on my computer, but I was deciding for a month that I was gonna verbally journal. So I get home, I'd wake up and I'd have my coffee, and then I would just talk for 5 minutes straight with no pausing, and just my thoughts and ramble and stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
And I probably looked insane to an onlooker, but to me, I was a genius. No, I'm joking. No, to me, I was just practicing talking. I guess I still don't know if it did anything, but I feel like in the moment, I feel like it did. When I did start having the conversations and talking to them, keeping the conversation going. It's a unique, it's a social skill, I guess, that you can learn. People don't think about it like that though.
Yeah. Was that stuff you put up on YouTube?
No, actually, I never ended up. I did this was back when I was I didn't have a motivation to go and just put it out there. But I did 4 episodes, conversations with the friends. And then I never did anything with it, to be totally honest.
Yeah.
But you learned from it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And I still talk to myself every morning.
Oh my
Cool.
God. Cool. So what common movies have we seen as far as the Oscar noms, the Best Pictures? Have any of you seen The Green Book? I want to hear a review on that one.
I know. It's mixed reviews. I've heard some
was
people
the wild
feel
card
good
for
and it's
me.
great, and then some people it's a sugar coated, it's cookie cutter.
I've heard that.
Kind of
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh okay.
So
I
I
haven't
don't know.
heard much about that one.
It's like driving Mr. Daisy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Roma for sure. Vice.
What do you guys think about Black Panther being nominated for Best Picture?
Interesting.
What do you think?
I don't.
It's a
It was
Marvel
a great.
movie.
I liked the film. I'm just gonna deny that it was a great film. It was.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of do you It is the first superhero film. I'm not usually a huge superhero movie fan.
Same.
I do think that was genuinely the best script, the best superhero movie film I've seen.
But is it Shape of Water? Is it, Moonlight?
Yeah.
Yes, it's a Marvel film.
And there was the controversy a few months ago about the popular movie category.
Yeah. I was looking for that this morning.
That got shit canned quick.
Did it though, or are they just waiting another year to kind of think it over?
No,
it's
I
done.
heard. That's what I heard last. I don't know. They might try to I don't know.
Yeah, I'm for that. You had heard about that, right?
Yeah, I did hear about that. I don't know what. Then the last time I checked, it wasn't happening. So I don't know what happened. What was it? Just an uproar, and then they were like, "No, we're just joking." No. I don't know. I don't know. Each year I'm getting less and like if you asked me that like 3 years ago, I'd be like, no superhero movie. But the more I think about it, I don't know. Like, the standard, like, the industry, everything's changing so fast that I don't know if I even a strong opinion about that. It's a good film. I don't know. I guess nothing really phases me too much about it. I think it was a good one, but there's a part of me that is a purist part that thinks that there should be films that, like, again, it's a unique superhero film. Most superhero films, I think they have great entertainment value and everything, but they are formulaic in my opinion. A lot more goes into the aesthetics rather than the story.
It actually has an interesting villain in Killmonger.
Right. There's complex characters. It's across the board, and there's different dimensions to it for sure. There's political dimensions, racial dimensions, like economic. It is its own world, and I do think it's essential. It's a really valuable cultural product. Absolutely. Wow. So it's just a question of whether
making the case, man.
It's just a matter of whether you think it's like what. So like with your question, kind of, it's like, what are your standards for what you want the Oscars to represent? Like the Best Picture, is that kind of the underlying?
I guess would Steven Spielberg agree with it being nominated? After what he said about a movie needs to be in a theater. Well, obviously superhero movies are in theaters, but they're also superhero movies. Yeah.
I don't think he would object.
Yeah. It's cool to see this crossover with it, you know? Yeah.
I've never put too much stock in the Oscars. I never understood what they were for, because I didn't even have a film school education until a couple of years ago, late 30s. And so growing up, I was always why isn't Jurassic Park nominated for Best Picture? It's the best one, that kind of thing. So I've never really had an appreciation of the craft or anything. And I, even though I want to pursue it, I see myself as more of a consumer and maker of pop films, not necessarily the artistic ones. And I don't mean to sound like on any kind of high horse or any horse at all, but I have through the experience, especially Glenn Mann's English courses, film criticism, something or other. I don't know if you know him, but hey, Professor Mann. That was the first time I was exposed to more artistic films, to foreign films in particular. And it just really opened my eyes, like, okay, I get it now. I might not ever make a film like this, but I appreciate the craft. I appreciate those who perpetuate it. Sometimes I get a little too, nose up hype in the air about it, but film is film is film. You need to have something to aspire to, something that is like, wow, and then crap just for guilty pleasures or whatever. Because it's all art, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is your opinion?
Well, now listening to you, I feel like as I'm getting older, I'm realizing that my taste is more in like the pop genre. Because I do really love Jurassic Park, and I loved Tag this year. The film Tag. It was so good with John Hamm and
you were telling me about this.
Yeah, Tag and Cock Blockers was also really good, and Hereditary was really good. You don't see those getting nominated, but those are my favorite films of the year. So, who am I to judge this Black Panther? And more, I just pose the question just to pose the question.
I think it's more my expectations and standards of the Oscars in general have gone. Like, I just don't care as much as I used to about upholding some kind of purist standard. Same thing with the movie industry at large. Like, how are they going to change, like, the streaming platforms? Like, let's be real, times are changing. Most people get home from work and they just want to go watch the movie in their home, and then like go to bed, and that whole cycle, on a big enough scale, might seem like a really sad thing, but then again, it's like, I don't know, that is the reality, and I don't think it's a huge. I think there are bigger fish to fry in terms of the issues we should be confronting in the world and everything. I am glad that the Academy gets a lot of shit for being political, but a lot of the films themselves have a lot to say, and we should try to uphold this thing. Like we should reward serious films that confront serious issues. I don't think we should go away from that. So it's like, yeah, Oscars should be taken seriously. I'm all in favor of that. And if that means like having a couple superhero films in there too, whatever, it might be worth the compromise.
Some folks are kind of pissed that Black Panther's getting this attention that The Dark Knight didn't a while back. Because that was a super good film.
Well, it was good, and it did get the best supporting actor. Heath Ledger did win.
Some say it's just because he died, though.
No way, man.
I mean, no, he's amazing. He's amazing. But what pushed it over was...
I see.
Oh, was his time?
Because it's a comic book movie. He's playing that, but not to take away from the win. That's just what some people say.
Yeah. I mean...
It was 11 years ago today, by the way, guys. Yeah.
No kidding.
It's just so odd that we're talking about it now. Yeah, I just saw it on Instagram. Yeah. 11 years ago?
Yeah.
I can't believe how fast time has gone by.
We lost. He's such a talented guy. It makes it even more sad that he left this like amazing performance. Yeah. Like it's like, damn, we lost one. I was affected most by Philip Seymour Hoffman's. That hit me, and Robin Williams. Those two were just like,
oh my god.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? That was just heartbreaking. Because now you've got, I mean, in terms of the actors, Christian Bale, I think, is up there. Joaquin Phoenix. Now that Daniel Day-Lewis is retired. And now Joaquin Phoenix is going to be the Joker in a film. I'm eager to see how he spends
I did not know that. Oh, cool.
Yeah, he looks like he lost a bunch of weight for it. He looks like even more like kind of weird and
I love that.
Now that I realize it, I wonder if You Were Never Really Here was nominated for anything at the Oscars, because that was a film that I thought was amazing this past year. Lynn Ramsey and Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, I'd like to get outraged about that if I can. If I'm allowed, I'll check. What the fuck?
It's a sham.
I know you're listening.
Snubbed.
Yes.
Is that the one where he went out in public as the character and like they filmed it? Like mockumentary style?
It has a similar title, doesn't it? No, that was a couple years back, and it was like You're Not Here or something.
Something about
but now he just did another one called You Were Never Really Here.
Okay.
And this is just like kind of Taxi Driver-esque film that of him. He's like an army vet who fought in Afghanistan, and now he's a hitman, and he deals with a lot of. He's got PTSD. Lives with his mom. And a congressman asks him to infiltrate like this congressman whose daughter's been abducted in this like sex ring, like child sex ring. He has to go infiltrate it, and it's kind of like got this like revenge aspect of it. And this guy who's got like nothing to lose, you just follow him, and it has really dark, violent stuff going on in the film. But at the heart of it, there's like also a warmth that he brings to the character. Like he lives with his mom, and like it's just. It's a really beautiful film. I love that one.
Wow.
So I recommend that one for sure.
Yeah. Have you watched Barry yet? Have either of you watched Barry?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I've seen
So
a couple
it's kind of a
episodes.
similar premise there. Oh, yeah, Barry's really good. You know Bill Hader? Yeah.
What a great premise. Like if you told, all you had to tell me is like Bill Hader plays a hitman that wants to become an actor. He gets tied up in the acting.
It's so good.
It's genius. It's just genius.
So good. And Henry Winkler. Oh my God, just a legend.
It's a slam dunk. I need to watch the rest of the series, the rest of the first season for sure.
Yeah, you do. It's really, really good.
TV is kicking ass right now for sure. It's like new stuff coming out every. Like I just watched. What did we watch? The Haunting of Hill House. And I'm not even the big horror film guy or anything, but we got sucked into that, and I'm like, what? This is.
Yeah.
So this just story. The story is good. Like the story and like the arcs and everything. It's.
Yeah, so many people have told me about that one. That one's Netflix too, right?
Yeah. And what I love television shows that are like 6 to 10 episodes per season, and it's just it's almost like a glorified miniseries in a way, where it just had the season is itself it doesn't. We don't have to have a season 2 necessarily. You enjoy it. There's a beginning, middle, and end. And I love that because it's like a really long, good movie. Basically, you watch it in segments. Fargo's like that.
Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies.
Big Little Lies is like that.
And so that's considered a miniseries, I think, at the Emmys or something. But this is not, because there's only like 6 episodes. I don't know how.
Versus 8 episodes. Like, how do they choose that?
Who knows? But yeah, I like those. That's my favorite kind of television at the moment, because I feel like, I think at one point a critic called it extended cinema. He even coined it that, because he was talking about a specific film of a specific show. But I dig that term.
Where they don't need to end on a cliffhanger at the last episode. Thing. Yeah, I really like that.
Because it forces the script to be good, solid. If this is going to stand on its own. We don't have to do a cheap Hereditary ending just to have a cliffhanger.
Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't. I mean, I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to be Rosemary's Baby and have it be something to talk about, but you could have. I don't know. The film is good in it.
Toni Collette is amazing.
Oh, she's a snub.
That's a huge snub.
Toni Collette was so amazing in that film. Honestly, hands down, that was.
I can't believe it. Who took her spot? It's ridiculous.
I mean, it's probably a very talented actress that took her spot, but come on, that was
Lady Gaga.
I haven't seen that one, A Star Is Born, but I heard from someone that they got an acting coach who's like world renowned, famous, and is like a miracle worker, and she worked with Lady Gaga, and so. I don't doubt that she probably did a really good performance.
She pulled it off. It was good. Yeah. I'm not in a rush to see it again, though.
Oh, you saw it? Okay.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, it's like a movie that kind of was made for me because I love musicals and I love the industry and that quest for stardom, but I just didn't. It didn't connect with me as much as it did others.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not in a rush to see it again.
Right on.
Yeah. Love the song though. The song is just gonna sweep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
What's it called? Shallow?
Shallow.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a ballad. I love it. It's so good. Yeah.
We're at 1/4 an hour. Doesn't feel like it.
No, it's really nice. Really nice.
Very enjoyable. But then we go and wrap it up.
All right.
I suppose. Is there anything you want to promote you got going on? Or?
Not in the promotion phase now, but I appreciate the offer.
Can we follow you on social media anywhere?
No, not really.
Okay.
I'm not a social media guy.
Okay, right on.
Maybe with this next one, I'll up the ante on the social media marketing thing, but I'm still, I can't get into it. Yeah, I'm an old man at heart.
If you do want to collaborate with John, though, you can reach out to both of us, and we can put them in contact with you.
Absolutely.
If you liked what you heard today.
If you thought Toni Collette was snubbed too, please write your letter. How about The Favorite? Have you seen The Favorite?
I haven't seen it.
I can't wait to see The Favorite. I haven't seen it either.
I have a good feeling about it.
I do too.
I have a good feeling.
Yeah.
He's a good director. I loved his first film, Dogtooth, and I just get a feeling just from the previews, like this is gonna be a movie I like.
Yeah, it's like all shot in wide angle lens. Have you seen
like
that?
fisheye.
So interesting.
And Rachel Weisz and Emma
my
Stone
God,
just
so good.
They're so talented. So and what is her
name? I had my money on
that.
Oh, I know. I don't know what her name is, but she got nominated though.
Yeah, but she's great in Broadchurch, that TV show Broadchurch. She's amazing in that.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
A lot of movies I've never heard of. And you say you want to start a family, that's one thing's going to happen. Not going to be able to go see a lot of movies. Yeah. Maybe. It depends on every family's different, whatever.
You're not going to bring Stormy to Vice, is that what you're saying?
No.
You're not going to bring your kid
I haven't
to
taken
Vice.
him to the theater at all yet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I might have to second guess this family thing. Sorry,
it's
you're listening,
amazing.
Stephanie.
It's wonderful.
I know we've talked about our life plans. We want to have children.
But Cliff just told me that.
But apparently, I'm not going to be able to take our children to Vice.
Deal breaker.
Or any serious films.
Yes.
All right.
But yeah.
Thank God Roma's on Netflix, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So streaming.
I've been catching up on stuff. I finally saw Breaking Bad.
Oh really? You hadn't seen it? Oh,
I had not seen it.
Lucky you for getting
It was
a
amazing.
chance to see it.
I lost sleep because I was
so good.
staying up watching it. I was like, next one! Oh my god!
Oh my god!
And then Better Call Saul.
Nice. Oh, so you finished the season? You finished Breaking Bad?
Mm-hmm.
Man, it's so good.
That was the first and kind of only show that I unhealthily binged on. Like I lost sleep getting into the wee hours of the day, or wee hours of the morning, like watching that.
Yeah.
I haven't done it since because they're probably really unhealthy. But
I haven't found a binge-worthy show like Breaking Bad in a really long time. Yeah. I mean, obviously Game of Thrones is coming up. That's...
I saw the first season of Westworld.
Oh,
that was great.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I haven't seen the second season.
Yeah.
I heard they kind of go off the deep end. Like they get way too like
up their ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well put.
Thanks. not super refined, but to the point.
John, thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah,
This really meant a lot.
It's been a joy. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
I really love the value that you put in your work to say something to a larger audience. You're not just focused on the visuals, but you're focused on what the words really mean and how they marry with the visuals and then the music too. And you're not just doing it to put content out there. You're really like mulling it over. And yeah, I think that's what our world needs. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Kelsie.
Really cool.
You've always been such a positive influence, and you made the first one happen. So I am indebted for
I'm
life.
so proud of Isle.
Yeah.
really so proud of Isle. Me and Anella look back on Isle very fondly. So great.
As well
Such
as
a great team.
Sure.
So great.
That was absolutely a blast.
Now let's go watch the Rams beat the Patriots.
Yes,
right?
go Rams. We're the biggest Rams fans there are after that.
After these bruises.
I've got these.
Time for redemption.
Oh, it's so good.
Exactly.
It's so great.
I'm gonna have elbow pads at the Super Bowl.
Jesus. At Whole Foods, just with your elbow pads on.
Oh god. Yeah. I'll have my kale salad and my elbow pads.
I'm ready. It's so cute.
At 9 a.m. rolling up.
Yeah.
Gotta get the best seat in the house.
Oh my god. So funny.
Cool.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I love what you guys are doing here. This is awesome.
It's super fun. It's really fun.
Tell your friends.
So what is this going to be? Maybe we should wait till cut.
Oh, yeah.
Ask you about it.